Finally, we got to top using the Dark World Danger deck and the local Davao meta. We got top 4 in a 10-player tournament, 4 rounds of Swiss, using the Danger Dark World deck. If you would recall, we bought a Dark World SD back in 2022, and officially this is like the second or the third time that we played this deck at locals, and with the right amount of cards and the right amount of luck, we actually placed pretty well. And we'll do a breakdown of the deck and later on what happened with the tournament. So it's 42 cards all in all, a pretty standard Dark World package of course, Snow for searching anything, Genta for searching the field, Beige for bouncing up and down the graveyard and the field. Then we have Silva for hand removal from the opponent, and Ceruli, which helps us accomplish that goal. By the way, this becomes your opponent's monster. That is important later on. Brow, which makes you draw a card. There is Grapha, of course, and the new and improved Reign-beaux, another searcher essentially, and it's basically Grapha 2.0 on the field. As for the dangers, this is a fiend monster, remember that. Chupacabra. Then Mothman, which makes you both discard and then draw. Draw then discard, triggers the Dark Worlds. There's Nessie, Thunderbird, 2 copies of Bigfoot. They are level 8, and we have Jackalope, which summons those level 8s. And it goes great into forming rank 8 plays. Spells, we have 1 copy of Accession, which is the fusion spell for Dark Worlds. Then Charge into the Dark World, targets a fiend, discard a fiend, summon that fiend. Perfect for the Dark World cards. This is what I was talking about in relation to Ceruli, because if your opponent activates a monster effect during the main phase, you get to choose one of the effects of triple tactics talent, and this is your opponent's monster. This is also a great way to go against opponents that use infinite impermanence, because they technically have a face-up monster on the field. And they're going to have a hard time summoning their Kashitula monsters, and they're going to have a hard time using Lightning Storm since they have a face-up card. There's the field spell, Gateway of the Dark World, Pot of Avarice to recycle graveyard, recycle extra deck, essentially makes you draw 2 cards, and good old card destruction. This is helpful in a later game. As for our extra deck, of course, the fusion, the new and improved Grapha fusion. Then there's Akashic Magician, Dark. Literally, her name is Dark. IP Masquerena, Muckraker of the Underworld, summons a fiend from the graveyard. Usually you summon something that brings back Grapha to the field. Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix and Nightmare Unicorn. Then Apollosa, a vital piece of the field, because you need to negate hand traps, especially in the OCG. Then Saryuja to fix your hand. Access Code Talker if you're going second. C World Dragon, I forgot the full name of this card. If your Apollosa has already used up all of its pieces, or sorry, its 800s, you can use this as material. Number 60 makes you draw, then discard. And the MVP as to why I run all those level 8s, Giant Trainer, Coach King, or Coach King Giant Trainer. Really difficult to find in the OCG in my area because this was never reprinted. As for the side deck, remember this is OCG January 2023 ban list. We run Maxi. This is great going second. Nibiru, we are not going to worry too much about it on the main deck. Not everyone summons more than 5, but there are now people that do, especially those that run splites. Prohibition, this was a bit of a hit and a miss. Then there's Harpy Feather Duster, great considering the trap heavy meta. Speaking of, there's red reboot, and evenly matched. Completing the side deck is number 38, number 100, number 97. This is a level 8 one shot, one kill, Unga Boonga side deck. We went against Cyber Dragons, which was a fairly interesting match, 2-0. They're a going second deck, but with the build that we have for Danger Dark Worlds, we usually go first. So we build a very difficult to break board, if not break my board. What happened was we were able to go first, winning the die roll. Then we built a good board. Then when we went second, they tried to build a very large board, but they didn't get the right cards. It was a bad draw on their part. Then on the second game, we went against Punk Bestials, and they did the maxi challenge on. We did the same thing. On the first game, 2-0, we built a very difficult to break board. Then on the next game, they went maxi challenge, and they lost all their cards from their deck because of card destruction. They couldn't negate it anymore because I was already building a proper field. On the third game, that was the worst. It was against Labyrinth. It was 0-2. I tried to side in this, and this worked for a turn. What made it worse was the randomization that the dangers gave. It didn't give a proper summon. I kept drawing this, and this is useless if you don't have anything in the graveyard. So this is good like second or third turn, but never on the first turn, or if you already have something in the grave. The last game that we played was against Trap Tricks because they had this new SD, so people were playing Trap Tricks. We went first and we did what we can, and luckily they weren't able to push through with the monsters that they had on field. So our record was 2-0, 2-0, 0-2, 2-0 on a 4-round Swiss tournament. And we got fourth. Not bad, but it could have been better. As for the matchup with Labyrinth, I really died, and I really had nothing that I could play against a trap-heavy deck in my side deck. I regret not including Denko Seka in my side. This could have replaced the prohibition that I placed there in the side deck. This could have easily replaced Harpy's Feather Duster. So next time. But all in all, it was satisfying. This was the absolute MVP, drawing 3 times and then damaging the opponent each time. That was so satisfying. This is a good coach, especially on the first turn. You can't even do battle, and that's okay because you don't have a battle phase on the first turn. So that's it. We will try to improve this deck next time with more cards that can be added to the jankiness of this deck, hoping that it will improve our gameplay. Until next time, thank you so much for subscribing, watching, and playing along. Till next time, bye.